What's up, guys? All right, back with another video. This is going to be the top 4 rifles you should own for the collapse of the United States. Again, not causing any panic. I'm just doing this video for entertainment purposes only. Do I think this is going to happen? Not really. Like I stated in the other video, I think there are so many countries that rely on us just to stay afloat that even if something catastrophic did happen, I think that those countries couldn't let it happen too much, because if the United States collapsed, a lot of other places in the world would collapse as well. So there again, not to cause any panic, entertainment use only, do with it as you will. Let's get into it. Number 4. Number 4 to me would be a 22. Now this is a Christensen Arms bolt action 22 with a suppressor, and this thing with CCI quiet ammo is stupid. I mean, it is stupid. I think I have a video somewhere in the past showing me shooting around through this. You basically hear the firing pin drop and then the bullet hitting the ground, and that is essentially it. And I know what you're going to say, the 1022. And I agree the 1022 is a great pistol, but this actually uses 1022 magazines. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. I know this isn't an automatic or semi-automatic, but for taking small game, and that's why I chose this gun for small game and birds and squirrels and stuff like that to eat, I think this would be a great option, because with a suppressor, it is super quiet, even way quieter than like a 1022, because you're going to hear the action cycling. A 1022 would be a great option. I just think this would be a little bit of a better option. You don't have to choose this one. Savage actually makes a bolt action 22 that is super, super quiet as well. I just feel like the magazines on the Savage 22 isn't as good a quality as the 1022 magazines, and I owned a Savage, but that's why I don't own the Savage today. If the magazines, in my opinion, would have been a little bit better, I would have probably have not got this gun. But I wanted the versatility also to use the 1022 magazines in this gun, also in my 1022 as well. It also gives you the option to use like the little 25 round or 20 round, either one, magazines from the 1022. But there again, this thing is just super duper quiet, and probably not the best self-defense gun, although it can be used in that role. The 1022 might be better in that situation or that role, but this will definitely not give away your position if you're trying to stay super quiet while hunting for food to take back to your family, because if something like that happened and you have a squirrel, you better be able to defend that squirrel, because somebody else will have a squirrel before you get home. So that's why the bolt action with a suppressor, if you can own a suppressor where you're at, 22 suppressors are a little bit less costly than other suppressors that we have, but that is a great option, and a 22 is probably something you should own in case something like that were to happen. All right, number 3. Number 3 is a gun that you are not going to see on my channel a whole lot, because I'm not real fond of these. People's going to hate me for this, but it's just me. I'm just not a fan of the shotgun. Shotguns have their roles. Shotguns are great guns. I'm not saying they aren't. I'm just saying the capacity of these things is a little lackluster for me. And there's a misconception that you don't have to aim a shotgun, but that is not true. You still need to aim a shotgun. Do you have to aim it a little bit less than like a 22 or an AK? Probably. But you still need to aim a shotgun. It's just not a magic gun that when you shoot it, all the bullets just fly, or all the pellets just fly everywhere and just get all the bad guys. That is not the case, especially when you go with a shorter, barrel such as this, and you're not at a very long distance. Let's say you're in the house. The shorter barrel will make it spread a little more, but still at shorter distances in a house or some role, a self-defense role, you're still going to need to aim this rifle. Now, I have ammo all over this thing because it only holds like 8 rounds or something, and that's with a tube extension. So the capacity, you might want to train loading it, because if there's more than 7 or 8 assailants, you better be quick at reloading one of these bad boys. But I would recommend either getting something like the Remington 870 that you've seen right there, or like a Mossberg Model 500. Those are going to be the most two common shotguns probably in the United States. And like we talked about the other video, if you need a part or a piece, the likelihood that it is one of these two shotguns is going to be very, very high. All right, number 2. That is the AK-47 or some variant of it. I also have a Galil. I almost brought the Galil out here because I can put my suppressor on the Galil and I can't put it on this. I don't have the right flash suppressor for that. But this is more of a traditional AK. This is probably what you're going to find more so than the Galil. The Galil is a little more rare than your traditional AKs. These things are a dime a dozen. And if I was in any other part of the world other than the United States, this would have been my number 1 choice. But this isn't the most popular rifle in the United States, as we all know. But there again, most of the parts and pieces off these, depending on which country they're from and stuff like that, will interchange. And they're very, very, very easy to work on. Kids in other countries are running these, as sad as that is. Not sad that they're running, but sad that they have to run them or are being made to run them. I think that is a very, very sad thing. But kids are actually running these in other countries, and they're proficient with them. So, you know, if a 6-year-old can learn how to do this in a third world country, a grown man can learn how to do this in the United States. I'm just saying, or at least in today's society, who knows. But this is a good setup. I think this will work great. Number 1 pick is, we all know what that'll be. I think the ergonomics on that is better. We can all argue that fact, but this takes some training to reload and stuff like that. You don't reload an AK as naturally as you do, say, maybe an AR that may be coming up next. So there are some things about this that are downsides, in my opinion. You can debate reliability or accuracy for either one of the two. But I think modern rifles are pretty reliable, no matter if it is an AK or an AR, and reliability has been proven. Man, them birds have went nuts. But reliability has, or not reliability, but accuracy has been proven in both these guns. The AR may be a little more accurate to distance, but at 300 yards, 400 yards, I think you're gonna be able to do the job with the AK just as good as you could with our number 1 pick, the AR. Now, this is an SBR. This is a legal SBR. I've done all my paperwork. I have all my documentation, my tax stamp. I bought this years ago. So this is a legal AR. You may not be able to get your hands on like a 10.3 inch barrel such as this. But a 16-inch gun will probably work even better. You're going to have better velocities. You're going to have better ballistics and stuff like that. But if the situation arose where I was in a collapsed country, this is what I would want. I got my can on it. You know, it's set up for exactly the way I would want to have it set up. Of course, because I am the one that set this up. I think the ergonomics of this gun is just superior to the AK. You can drop your mag with one hand while you're having your magazine in the other hand to reload it. Your safety is easier to get to. A lot of these have ambidextrous bolt releases now, which is nice, which the Daniel Defense Mark 18 does not. The bolt release is still over here on it. But I just think this is a superior weapon to the AK as far as ergonomics, maybe a little bit of accuracy. Reliability is debatable. I've seen these do better in torture test. I've seen AKs do better in torture test. But if you need a part or a piece off of a gun, a rifle, and you find one laying on the ground in the United States, the likelihood that it is going to be from an AR is going to be extremely high. Extremely. There are so many of these out there in the United States that it is just, it's great actually. But there again, if you find one from somebody that don't need it anymore, you can take parts and pieces, and majority of the parts and pieces off these barring a few rifles such as like the Knight's Armament rifles and stuff like that, most of them will interchange with each other. So if you need a, you know, trigger spring or a hammer spring or anything like that, you can pick up one off the ground, take the spring out of it, throw it in yours, you're back in business, because they all work. They all just work. But this is my number one pick. I think most of y'all knew that would be the number one pick. I think that is most of y'all's number one pick. Now, some people are going to say the AK. I know the other two, maybe not so much. I do think those are valuable guns in a situation like this. But the AK and the AR is going to be probably your main go-to rifles in a collapsed world situation. Again, not trying to cause any panic. This video was for entertainment purposes only. And, but like I said in the other video, if you have all the food in the world and no way to protect it, and the man with the gun is hungry, he's going to be eating your food. You're either going to be sharing it or he's going to be eating it by himself. So either way, even if it never does happen, it doesn't hurt to be a little bit prepared. So do with that as you will. Prepare accordingly. Stay safe out there. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section if my top 4 are your top 4, and if they're not, what would you add and why? I know a lot of you are going to say the 1022, and there again, I have a 1022. I think that is a great gun. This one is just a little quieter, and in the role that I was going to put the Christensen arms in, I think it is a little better suited for that role. But there again, let me know in the comment section why you think I'm wrong. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm, helps the channel grow. Love you guys. See you next time.